Zombies have overrun Berlin. It's feeding time at the zoo. There are satellites falling all over the fucking place. And Adler's got 4 words running through his head. Good soldiers follow orders. So how's it going, Dank Division? Dank Dan here, and we are going to be discussing everything that we know so far about Season 4. So let's dig in. So, one of the major things that we should probably be talking about that involves the satellites is the Groundfall limited time event. Hopefully, it's not going to be like the Adler event, and we'll actually be able to get everything in this. So for this event, you'll be able to tackle objectives pertaining to new modes, maps, and weaponry, both in Black Ops Cold War and in Warzone. Completing these objectives will, of course, as always, reward you with items such as emblems, calling cards, and a satellite weapon charm, as well as some much-needed XP. Complete every objective, and you're going to receive an epic secondary weapon blueprint that is supposedly truly out of this world. Whether or not it's actually going to be worth it, well, let's face it. I don't really think the 80s action hero one was any good, so, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. So, let's talk about the man with the crazy eyes. He's got like the Gollum, give me the precious eyes, like holy high fucking hell, and that is our man in Warsaw Pact, Jackal. Now this metal masked South African native pretty much made his mark by infiltrating the CIA ground station compound on behalf of Perseus himself. At Season 4 launch, this man is going to be at the forefront, is going to be available at Tier 0 in the Season 4 Battle Pass, and unlocked a new type of operator skin referred to as the Ultra Rarity Operator Skin at Tier 100. For those of you wondering what the hell is Ultra Rarity Operator Skin, we'll dive more into that tomorrow, but I'll give you an idea of how it looks when we get further into it. So the second operator is going to be in season, and this is going to be for NATO. This is Salah. Now, when I think Salah, I honestly think Indiana Jones. I think of the guy who was pretty much told no camels and shows up with like 5 or 6 camels. And that honestly just brings a smile to my face. So, not the same Salah. Salah, on the other hand, this one, has a wealth of combat and negotiation skills that make him an invaluable member of NATO's finest. This man is part of Egypt's elite unit 777, formed following the expulsion of the Soviets, and he's pretty much an expert in counterterrorism as well as hostage rescue. Always known for staying positive and quick to see the best in people. However, he's kind of suspicious of Adler, and let's face it, after everything that Adler's done, we all are. Speaking of people that I honestly knew he was going to drop in eventually, but dear God, I never thought I'd see him in his OG skin from the Black Ops 1 mission where he loses his eye in the first place. That's right. That's Hickory Grigory Doc. Mr. Grigory Weaver is going to be dropping mid-season some point with NATO. Odds are he's probably going to drop with the Zombies map that will be coming out. This man, if you guys aren't aware of his whereabouts or what he was born in the USSR and raised in America, and it was a CIA operative, pretty much getting caught in the middle of it all and ended up losing his eye. This man finally is going to be stepping off the sidelines, similar to how Price did in Season 4 of Modern Warfare. In Season 4 Cold War, Weaver is finally going to be available to play. So enough about operators. Let's talk weapons. For the first time, and yes, I can't believe it's taken this fucking long, we are finally getting a new LMG, the MG82. This full auto light machine gun is going to possess the highest rate of fire in its class with a faster aim down sight. However, it's going to have a more moderate recoil and damage with increased ammo capacity. So pretty much be ready, because this thing could be like the MG34 but on steroids, and this bad boy is going to be free and ready to use in Black Ops Cold War and Warzone at launch at Tier 15. Now before I talk about this next assault rifle, let's talk about the skin. This is the high ultra rarity skin. How this works is it's a reactive skin. And it looks like he honestly skinned a chameleon while it was mid-transformation. And the best way to describe the skin is this is an anti-Rose skin. This is an anti-ghillie suit. This is a disco ball as a human being. Now, is that a bad thing or a good thing? I'll leave that up to you to decide. However, if you decide to run this and have the rest of your team run Rose skins, everyone's going to aim at you and they're not going to see your teammates coming. So, hey, use that to your advantage. So, more importantly, let's actually talk about the weapon he's holding, the C58 Assault Rifle. So, what this thing lacks in its rate of fire, it makes up for in its high damage at close range. This thing has a fast bullet velocity and a reliable recoil that, sadly, has less ammo capacity. So, pretty much you're going to be sacrificing your ammo as well as your rate of fire for the sake of high damage and bullet velocity. Leave that up to you guys to decide if this weapon's going to be worth it. This thing is going to be dropping in Tier 31 at launch. Speaking of weapons that are going to be dropping at launch, have you ever wanted to nail someone to the wall? I mean with a gun, guys. Get your head out of the fucking gutter. The nail gun. Yes, that's right. This weapon of choice I never thought I would see in-game. This is pretty much a power tool. We're not really using we're using nails to kill people this time. Slow rate of fire, high mobility, and is going to pretty much be using compressed air to launch projectiles that are going to deal high damage at close range. You're probably going to need to put about a nail or 3 in people just to kind of, put the nail in the coffin, So the issue that you're going to face specifically with this weapon, because you're firing nails, you're going to need to lead your shots when you're getting to that long distance and really have to angle up, because let's face it, nails don't travel the same way that bullets do, so you're going to have to adapt. Speaking of other SMG style weapons, we're going to be seeing the OTS-9 SMG, which honestly reminds me of the Kaparis from Black Ops 1. You guys can tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm still going to believe it either way, and the description is very similar to that weapon. This thing boasts great stopping power and a phenomenal rate of fire. The only thing that is going to hinder this thing is the fact that you have a 20-round mag, which is honestly makes it almost more of a machine pistol. However, with the right attachments, you can upgrade that 20-round mag and add more attachments to control the recoil to turn this thing into an absolute killing machine. I will not be surprised if when this releases mid-season, if this thing becomes an absolute killing machine that people call for a nerf. Now, this weapon coming up, I'm not going to lie, the first thought I had when I saw this weapon was like, alright, someone has to get a Sauron skin. Someone has to get a Sauron skin, and I better just one-hand bitch smack someone with this thing. And that's right, it's a medieval mace. Yes, that's right, you're going to be able to just smack the daylights out of people with this thing. Left, right, and center. However, the one thing that drives me nuts, and this goes with the baseball bat, and I'm pretty sure this is going to go with the mace, there should be an option to either bonk or to expose yourself by literally doing a swing, so that if you miss that swing, you're exposed and you're probably going to get shot. But hey, more power to you if you manage to land hits with this thing. Go out there, be like Sauron, wear the One Ring, beat the shit out of people. So those are going to be our weapons for this season. So a lot of you are now wondering, okay, what have we got in maps? So, we've got a new original map. Yes, this one actually looks promising, and that is Collateral and Collateral Strike, which is going to have its 12v12 as well as a 6v6 variation. So this pretty much reminds me of the Azure Cave map from Modern Warfare, as well as a combination of combining with the satellite map from Black Ops Cold War, and the style is going to fit. What you're going to have is you're going to have the village area as well as the satellite, so you're going to have the close-up areas with the buildings as well as the more open area around the satellite for the sniping. So be ready. This is honestly going to be interesting when you get in there. So for those of you who like to play gunfight and face off, you have the map Amsterdam. How this works is, for those of you who played the very first mission in the campaign, you're pretty much going to be playing on the rooftops, throughout the buildings, and it's going to be a very interesting play style. God help you all. Hopefully, you guys know what you're doing. For those of you like myself who've played Black Ops 2, you know this map. You love this map. You love to hate it, hate to love it. Hijacked is back for the 4th or 5th time in a fucking row. I mean, it was in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and now Cold War. So, 4 times in a row. But let's face it, we all love this map. For those of you who have never played this map, get ready. You're going to have people choosing to camp in the underneath part of the map. And you're going to want to plant claymores at the ladder and just wait. Just sit there and wait for people to climb up the ladder and just gone. And this happens all the time. It's just classic 3v3 lane map. And let's face it, we've all been looking forward to this. This one, however, came with mixed reviews. Since Hijacked is not the only map from Black Ops 2 to be making an appearance, Rush is going to be making a return. For those of you who don't know what this map is, it's pretty much a paintball map. For those of you who've gone paintballing, lots of fun, turned into a Call of Duty map. Now, a lot of people are saying, why did you bring this map? And I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to grind from BO2 or any of the other maps that were in the DLC. But you know what? Rush has the potential to be one of those quick pace, run, gun, absolute mayhem. And better yet, hey COD, if you're paying attention to this, can you add, a paintball mode to the game since you're going to throw us this map? I mean, just an idea. So those are pretty much going to be the maps that we're going to be seeing throughout this season. So many of you are now probably sitting here going, okay, what's going to be the game modes? All right, I got you. So the first one, of course, is going to be a mode called Multi-Team Sat Link. So this one is kind of a new one. I've never seen this one before. So how this works is you're supposed to power up and keep your satellite online for as long as possible to gain points in this mode, which is going to have 10 quads across a variety of maps. That's pretty much just the Ural Mountain maps. Let's face it, they're repurposing the Ural Mountains. Upon reaching the satellite link mark, you're going to have your squad powered up, and it will unfold and start uploading crucial data to the satellite, still pretty much in orbit. Before you reach a site, you're going to have to search for item crates that may contain powerful score streaks or other items to help you wipe other squads also tasked with transferring classified information. The team to reach the score limit first achieves victory. Now this one is a fan favorite that we've all been playing since the first Black Ops, and you all know and love it. One in the Chamber is back. You've got 3 lives and a single lethal one-shot, one-hit bullet. And God help you, this is honestly the mode you play in custom games. So how it works is be the last person standing, and if you actually win, hey, kudos to you. And for the love of God, don't fucking sweat in this mode. Come on. It's supposed to be a party mode. I can already hear the jump sliding from a mile away. Learn to have a little bit of fun. Now this next game mode dates back to the original Call of Duty and has been in almost every shooter game known to man, including classics like Star Wars Battlefront 2 and even screw it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is pretty much the best game I can think of off the top of my head. So this mode is Capture the Flag. For those of you who have never played this, you've probably been living under a rock at that point. How this works is your goal is to capture the enemy team's flag while also defending yours. And the only way you can score a point is to capture the enemy's flag, run it all the way back to your flag in its secure position to score, in which case their flag then respawns back at the same location. If you manage to win this, all you have to do is very simply get the most amount of points you can in the amount of time, or if you're really good at it, get to the highest score that you can possibly get to win this mode. That is going to be the very last game mode we will be seeing for Season 4. So let's talk about the score streak. The hand cannon. For those of you who are sitting going, I remember the hand cannon. It was in the campaign. Kudos to Black Ops for slipping this one in. If you guys go into campaign right now and go slipping all the way into the missions and go to Desperate Measures and replay that mission, they have now swapped out the old hand cannon for this model that you see here. And how this thing works is this is a semi-automatic handgun that chambers ridiculous high caliber rounds. The best way to describe this gun is, for those of you who've seen Police Academy, it's the gun that the police officer was handed that was like, where'd you get that gun? My mom bought it for me. It's that gun. It's the one that pretty much will explode and kill anything. It's pretty much the fuck you and fuck the person behind you gun. So, I question how this is going to work. I mean, it's an 8 round in the chamber. The reason I'm questioning it is, how's it going to work on zombies? I want to test this on the Jolly Green Jackass and the Orda and, you know, the guy with the arm cannon. I mean, there's so much that can be done with this. Speaking of zombies, let's talk zombies. So, we're going to be adding on to the Ural Mountains parts that keep getting thrown into Outbreak. Yes, that's right, it's feeding time at the zoo. The new Outbreak region and new main quest and intel is coming to zombies. That's right. You're pretty much going to have this new area in the Ural Mountains. It's pretty much a zoo overrun with the dead. It's going to have new objectives, new Dark Ether story intel that you're going to be able to find, and they even talk about new world events that are going to be happening, and even they've talked about how there's maybe even an Order exhibit that will arrive when you warp into the zoo in later rounds. God help you all. You also have a new Easter egg that is going to be coming called Operation Excision. This is pretty much going to be the newest Zombies main Easter egg that is going to serve as a narrative prologue for the next round-based zombies map that's going to be coming mid-season. And for those of you who don't know about the new map, Mauer der Toten. For those of you who don't know German, Wall of the Dead. So, this is going to be coming back to the classic round-based zombies experience that we've pretty much been playing as far back as Knocked. So, this is pretty much going to take place after the events of Operation Excision in Outbreak, and the Dark Ether story is pretty much going to continue all the way through this map, where players will pretty much take on the terrors in war-torn East Berlin after the zombies invasion has pretty much overtaken the city, and you're going to have new twists, new turns, and terrifying undead threats for players to conquer. Now, before I dive into anything else, let's get one thing straight. A lot of people have been saying that after this Berlin map, they're pretty much done with zombies. We've got 2 more seasons left, guys. Come on. We got 2 more seasons left and 3 perks out in the open. So far, every time a round-based map drops, we get a perk. Right now, there's 3 perks left. Double Tap, Mule Kick, PhD. Which one's going to drop with Berlin? I have no clue. Whether or not the last 2 that are left after that are going to drop on their own or drop with the map, I don't know. But before you guys jump to conclusions and go, oh, zombies is done after Season 4, wait for an official statement. For God's sake. The speculation going around that zombies is pretty much done and they're going to move it to Vanguard, there's nothing proving it yet. Not at least until after we get the Berlin map. Then we can talk. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. But let's continue. So for those of you on PlayStation, you know, Xbox, PC, go to the timestamps. You can skip past this crap. You guys on PlayStation, you guys are in for a little bit of a treat. You're going to be able to start with the Collateral as a new map launch immediately for Onslaught. And later on in season, expect to face the Horde on the multiplayer map Rush and fight at a record speed, as they're going to be adding in a limited time mode called Onslaught Accelerated, and you're going to be able to get your hands on a legendary LMG weapon blueprint if you complete the Onslaught specific challenges related to this mode. So that's pretty much all we've got for Cold War, so it's about time that we dive in to Verdansk and Warzone. So, it's pretty much well known at this point that Perseus's plans are to activate its sleeper cells have not gone exactly successful, but it's not exactly a failure. But at this point, who knows? The bigger question is, what do we have coming? So we have new points of interest that you should care about. So for those of you who weren't watching the trailer, there are going to be several satellites that have crash landed in Verdansk and are going to leave you and your squads to pretty much investigate the rubble. So as I said before, these are going to pertain to the event. You're going to want to pretty much interact with the sat links that are found in the area to work towards receiving permanent rewards in the ground fall event at the beginning of the season. Also, this will help you get powerful kill streaks, vehicles, and field upgrades as you're starting off. Better yet, another thing that's going to be coming at launch, the red door. Yes, the same red door that they pretty much used as a code name for this game, the same red door that you were able to see in the campaign is going to be dropping. And pretty much, it's going to allow you to teleport here, there, and everywhere. Now, it's pretty much said that the origins of this mysterious red doors around Verdansk are pretty much unknown. But people are starting to question, what do the numbers mean that are going around the door? How brainwashed are we? And honestly, I'm looking at us as sleeper cells, and I'm looking at Stitch as the equivalent of Emperor Palpatine, and we as the sleeper cells are the equivalent of the clones. And we are just waiting for Order 66. And remember what I said. Good soldiers, follow orders. So another thing that's going to be changing is, once again, the Gulag is changing. So just like they did when Standoff came out, they changed the Gulag to that. Now that Hijacked is going to be dropping on launch, the Gulag is going to be Hijacked. So for those of you who are like me, who played Black Ops 2 and know pretty much Hijacked like the back of your hand, this is going to be a great way to have an advantage. For those of you who have never played Hijacked, you might want to learn the map on multiplayer real quick. That way you can prep yourself for this. It's pretty much going to be just a classic plywood recreation of the yacht central area. So it's not really going to be the large out area. It's going to be more that central area. So just be ready, because it's going to be high holy hell. So another thing we're going to be seeing is a new vehicle is going to be dropping. Yes, that's right. The dirt bike, the motorcycle. This thing is going to be able to turn on a dime. And while it is not exactly the safest thing if you want to pretty much avoid getting shot, I guarantee you'll get sniped off this thing in a second. But this thing's, what it lacks in durability, it makes up for in maneuverability. You can pretty much juke out people left, right, and center, make sharp turns all over the place, drift, jump, go all over the place, pull 6 stunts. And overall, this vehicle could mean life or death if you know how to handle it. So a lot of people were complaining. They pretty much kept looking at Nakatomi Plaza going, please don't take it down. Please don't take it down. This has been the greatest thing that they've added. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. That building is not going anywhere. Pretty much, they've told us that the towering downtown complex across from the financial district, that bad boy's here to stay. So while the tenant, quote-unquote tenant, has decided to move back west to sunny Los Angeles, this point of interest is not going anywhere. Now referred to by operators as Downtown Tower, has had its vault open and cleared of valuables, but remains a beautiful and vast, strategically valuable location to dominate your enemies from, and is also just going to pretty much make things rather entertaining. So we have 2 new game modes that are going to be coming to Verdansk, one of which I'm very excited to be seeing, and that is Verdansk Resurgence Mini, and this is dropping at launch. For those of you like myself who have only really been playing Rebirth Resurgence because you like the idea of respawning, but hate the idea of going into the Gulag, which is pretty much what Verdansk is. So now you can pretty much have the best of both worlds. You not only get Verdansk, you get a mini version of Verdansk. You get to pretty much practice your abilities a little bit. You also get that nice little respawn, sort of some jackass with a shotgun. You know, little Timmy who's an asshole that you kind of want to get revenge on, who's been camping the whole game. You wait for that respawn, and you just take that fucker and put him down in the ground. I know that sounds brutal, but you know what? It's definitely deserved to some people that honestly need to go down. And the last thing that comes with this is, better yet, for those of you who have been real pissed off with how they've been doing it with Rebirth, at least with the Verdansk Resurgence, you're going to have solos, duos, trios, quads. You can actually choose. Now, if only they could just do that with Rebirth, we would have something, because they've been driving us nuts making it duos and then putting it to trios, then making it quads and making us happy. It's like, guys, just listen to us for 5 minutes. Solos, duos, trios, quads. Make that for all your modes. Literally Plunder, Rebirth, Verdansk Resurgence, Battle Royale. And for those of you saying that's hard to code, I guarantee you I could find a hacker who could probably do it for you. And I mean that in the most sincerest but also most brutal way. So, we also get a new game mode called Payload. This will be dropping mid-season, and how this works is that you and 39 other operators drop in to escort 2 caravans of vehicles through a series of checkpoints or sabotage the mission. So, you build or destroy barriers and purchase buildings to aid your squad's mission, and be sure to collect any contracts you find around Verdansk, as they will help you in pretty much succeeding in this thing. More details on this mode will pretty much be coming out later this season. So for those of you who have been begging and pleading because you really feel like you want to be Babe Ruth in this bitch, the baseball bat is finally going to be dropping into Warzone. Yes, that's right. You'll be able to bonk some heads. And dear God, I honestly think that is going to be hilarious to just see someone running around bonking everyone in the head here, there, and everywhere. God help us all. So, what's more entertaining is, just like with the previous season, we're going to all refresh to level 1. Yes, I know that's a pain in the ass. But the good news is we're going to have new prestige levels to go for: 19, 20, 21, and 22. And how it works is the same as always. Try to hit level 200 so you can hit Prestige Master. And how it works is just like last time. Hit level 50, you get a weapon blueprint, prestige key, emblem, and a battle pass tier skip. And everything after that is just pretty much the prestige icon, the emblem, the key, a battle pass tier skip. And once you hit level 200 again, Master Prestige calling card. And once you get pretty much anything after 200, every 50 levels, you get a prestige key. Any of those of you who actually hit 1,000, I applaud you. Go take a fucking shower. But more importantly, I think this is something that's a little bit more wholesome to talk about. Black Ops Cold War and Warzone is finally expanding their gifting system. So for those of you who have been rather disappointed, you've been wanting to gift people the Cold War Battle Pass, or maybe you wanted to gift them the Cold War bundles. Finally, you are actually going to be able to hand people Black Ops Cold War content. However, there is a catch. The only way that you can gift now is you have to do the 2-factor authentication on your Activision account, which, granted, it does give you the bonus 2 hours of double Battle Pass XP, but I'm not going to lie, it kind of is a bitch to set up. And if anything, it's going to take some time, and you're going to want to smack your head against the wall after, 4 or 5 tries. So, now let's talk about updates. So, this update is pretty much going to be going live on June 15th at 9 p.m. Pacific time for Black Ops Cold War. For those of you who are like me, who are wondering what that means in Eastern Standard Time, that's midnight. Better get that coffee ready and some 5-hour energy. Don't mix it together, otherwise you're going to have a heart attack. For those of you wondering how it's going to work for Warzone, June 16th, midnight Eastern Standard Time. So, I'm going to put this screen up so that you guys can actually see this. The Black Ops Cold War update size pretty much is going to be 30 gigabytes for the PlayStation 5, while it's going to be 15.5 gigabytes for the PS4. For the Series X, God help me, it is going to be 31 gigabytes. For the Xbox One, only 17.7. For the PC without the HD pack, it's going to be 21.6 gigabytes. With the HD pack, however, 30.7. As for Warzone, however, it's going to be a little bit smaller. It's nothing too crazy. You're looking at about 11 gigabytes on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. And for the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One, 11.2. And for those of you on PC, 12.2 gigabytes for Warzone only. However, if you happen to have Warzone and Modern Warfare because you happen to have the room, don't know how, 13.5 gigabytes. So, following the launch of Season 4, Warzone and Modern Warfare console players will also be getting a high-res texture pack on June 27th. How this is going to work is it's going to add more high-definition textures to the game, which is optimal for running this game at higher resolutions such as 1440p as well as 4K. So this will be somewhere between 7.2 and 7.6 gigabytes depending on what you're on. So for those of you who somehow managed to watch this video to the end, I applaud you. I don't know how I managed to do this. I honestly don't know how I did some of this in one breath. If you enjoyed what you're watching, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to the video. Hell, check out some of the other stuff that's on the channel. Check out the TikTok. Go watch something random. Or if you guys didn't enjoy the video, leave a comment down below. Give me some constructive criticism. Give me something to work with so that I know how can I improve this channel so that it can reach the tier that it needs to reach. So all of you out there, hope you guys are as excited for Season 4 as I am. And everyone out there, I hope you have a wonderful day and night. Whatever you're doing, do it wholeheartedly. And as always, this is Dank Dan, signing off.
Get them to hit that subscribe button, Dank. It's the only way we can figure out the numbers.
15.
What do the numbers mean, Dank? We're wasting valuable time.